Hey, y'all, I'm Jerry Work with Work Media, and welcome to another episode of Work Media TV. So, I just got back from Gatlinburg, Tennessee a few days ago. I spend a lot of time there. I walk around town and accumulate media for my clients there, which takes several days. And then I come back home. I live on the other side of Nashville, and I come back home and I'll spend a couple of days sorting through that material, pulling out the photos and the videos I like the best, doing whatever processing I want to do, and then that is the material that I will use for the next few weeks until I get back in town and start the whole process over, which is something you also need to keep in mind for your own internet marketing or social media is that you need a constant stream of material. Do not repost the same thing over and over again. You want your material to be fresh. You want it to reflect now what is going on right now. And so that requires you to constantly be creating material. So let's take a look. This is a folder on my hard drive where I am collecting the material, the final material that I will use for social media updates. This is stored on an external hard drive because these files get big, and I have over time you'll have thousands of these things, and so you don't want to really clutter up your internal hard drive with this stuff. So let's see what we've got. I'm just going to click on a few. Okay, here's an example. Shown here is a very famous songwriter and two associates. Jerry Salley is his name, this gentleman here. And they had put on a songwriting clinic. So if anyone notable, famous, or just well known for any reason comes into your business, see if they'll let you take a photo, especially standing in front of your logo or so that it's clearly in your business. Take advantage of those opportunities to sort of connect your business to whoever it is. All right, let's look at another one. I don't know. Here's one kind of goofy, but I think it's cool. They have great breakfast here, and so I very often will just photograph just breakfast items. These pictures always do well because people who know this business know about the breakfast. It's almost world famous practically. So leverage what you have. Now here's one I like. This is actually not a client, but one thing I very often do is share or show photos or information of other local businesses. You do not live in a vacuum. Sharing other local businesses, kind of, working with those guys, they'll share your stuff. I mean, that's a great way to kind of expand your visibility beyond your universe. I really like this photo. These are cool people. This is Olivia and Chuck at a little restaurant called Boudica's Celtic Pub. And I really like the pose. Chuck looking in this one direction, Olivia's looking straight at the camera, and then I kind of sucked a lot of a lot of color out of it to sort of make it almost monochromatic. So I just think it looks cool. So I will use it for something. Okay, here's one. This is a picture of a graveyard, and obviously I have purposely made it look kind of eerie. A lot of heavy processing, but I like photos to have something either look unusual or really pop, be really bright. So here's an example of that. This is the Gatlinburg Sky Park, and so this is another example of coordinating with other local businesses. Now, in this case, my client actually has a direct business connection to these guys, so I kind of use them a lot. But as you can see, I really cranked up the color, especially in that bright blue sky. It's a very vivid picture. It pops and it catches your eye, and that's what you want to go for. Well, let's see. I talk about this one in another video as well, but if it'll load, we're having some trouble here. Okay, so these are two ladies who are beloved in this business. This is Glenda and Bunny. So when I need a little pop in our social media numbers, I'll post a picture, especially of Miss Bunny. Everybody loves her. It always gets a ton of views and likes. So again, take advantage of what you've got. So look for events or things going on around your town. Gatlinburg has a thing called the wine tour. There are these little wineries and moonshine distilleries all up and down the street. And so there's this thing called the wine tour. They give you a little kind of passport. And as you go to the different wineries, they stamp your passport. And when you do all five, there's five of them you have to do. When you do all five, you get a free T-shirt. Well, I wanted that T-shirt, but really I wanted the content more than anything. So as I went through these wineries, I took lots of pictures, processed them to kind of, make them look a certain way. Every one of them, I took a picture of the person doing the samples. This is one of my favorite people in Gatlinburg here. That's the thing. As you do this, you'll get to know people. They'll become your friends, and they will become sources of content because they like you and they'll want to help you out. All right, let's look at one more, and then we'll call it for this. Okay. Gatlinburg tends to be very crowded, and so when I can capture an image like this that looks just empty, a lonely, empty street at night where there is nobody, and you can see I did some processing on this one too to make it look a certain way. But this type of material looks very well. If you can look for something that is the opposite of what you normally see, that's a good trick. So, those are some samples of the type of material that I look for and how I process them and that type of thing. If you could use some help with your business, I invite you to contact us at workmedia.net or email info@workmedia.net, and we'll get back in touch with you. And I certainly invite you back to our show to check out more episodes. We're still kind of getting this thing started, but this is an example of what we're going to do. We're going to look at content and try to learn and try to get better. So please, if you found this useful, like the video. If you've got some comments, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And we will see you next time.